also from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Give it up for Terence Delane.
We're in a pretty cool holiday time. You got all the kind of the important holidays. You got Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. All the important ones, and Kwanzaa. I know you guys don't celebrate Kwanzaa. No one here celebrates Kwanzaa. I don't think anyone cares about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is like a thing, you know it when you see it, but you don't know what they're doing. It's like rugby. Like, it's basically rugby. You know it. That's definitely it. But I don't know what they're doing. It's so weird. It's like that first R in February. No one knows what it does. It's just there. You're aware of it, but don't know what they do. My favorite holiday is Christmas. I like Christmas because I'm the youngest, and so I can give like $5 gifts and just write my name on it, and everybody thinks that's cool. I get away with that. I'm never gonna stop until they call me out. My least favorite holiday is 420 because when you have dreadlocks, you have to participate. It's a mandatory exercise. I don't like it. It's somebody like on 420. Somebody's like, "Hey, you got the weed?" I was like, "How do you know where I work? Why are you here? Just get away from me." I got 5:30. I got you down right now. Please, just be respectful. But the hair thing is interesting for me. With the hair and the build that I have right now, it's kind of, there's a lot of people that look like me. I kind of look like a third string running back for a team. If it's a really good team, then fourth string running back, but generally I'm on the roster. And it's a weird thing because a lot of people look at me. I went to a Saints game, Saints Detroit last month. They had me do a post-game interview. I don't play for them. They saw me walking out and felt I had something to offer, and I was passionate about the game, so I think it was a good interview. But there are a lot of people that look like me in other places, and so I'll have a problem where people think I'm someone else. I was in Lake Charles with a few friends last year, and I walk up, and this guy, he walks up and he goes, "Brian," and he walks up and "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Brian." I said, "No, I've never been Brian. I've never been Brian in my life. I'm Terence." And he said, "That's cool." And then we kind of had a little conversation and figured out the confusion. But I feel like he could have finished the hug because there was a time when he was walking up to me, I expected some level of affection. And it's the hug I never knew I wanted because he wasn't indeed a stranger, but I did expect some embrace because I saw him walking up for 3 or 4 seconds. I've seen Hitch, and Hitch, he says if you go 90%, the other 10% isn't that hard, and that's all I needed at that point. Asked for his number. That was not what he wanted me to ask him. So I hope he's just fine. He figures that out or maybe calls me back. It's just something I needed from him if he could get that done for me. I had the superpower when I was 6 years old. I could stare at the sun for 30 minutes and it would make the sky change colors. And I looked it up. It's a real superhero. It's a superpower. There's a name for it. It's called autism. Because when you stare at the sun for 30 minutes with the naked eye, that means you might have autism, and that was my situation. This audience is overwhelmingly Caucasian. I see like drops of melanin in the back, but not enough that I can overwhelmingly say you're anything other than white. So I feel safe asking this question. Has anyone here ever been to Vermont? No? At least one of you was made there, I would assume. Not one of you? Not a single one. Okay. Okay, that's fair. I went to Vermont early last year, and there were so few black people there that I got to hug each one that I met. And it wasn't very hard. The first one was there. It's when I got to Burlington. I got to the airport. This guy comes in, and he goes, "My man." And I look around to help him find his man because it's an airport. I don't know where people are. And I look back, and he's looking at me. I was his man. He came up and gave me a hug. That was Daryl. Daryl is in Vermont because he is in the Army. And sometimes when you're in the Army, you have to go to Vermont. Me and Daryl are Facebook friends. We hit it off very well. The next night, I'm at my hotel bar. I had somewhere between 2 to 12 beers. It's not your business. I had between 2 to 12 beers, and I'm sitting at the bar having a good time. And this guy walks in, and he says, "My man." And I start looking for his man drunkenly, but then I realize I'm his man. I get out of my chair. I give him a hug. That was Marlon. Marlon is in Vermont because he married a white woman, and that sometimes is where that's sometimes where you go when you marry a white woman. You have to go to Vermont. Me and Marlon are Facebook friends, and we follow each other on Instagram, and we hit it off very well. We went to downtown Burlington the next night. We're having a good time. We are sitting there. We're doing a good thing. We want to watch basketball. They have hockey on. We don't ask questions. Just let that happen. We enjoy the hockey as it is. And this young black guy walks in, and I say, "My man." And he knew what it was because he understands the culture. And so we walk up to each other. And we give each other a hug in the air because we have chemistry just from being youthful. That was Jamal. Jamal is in Vermont because he's going to the University of Vermont because he wants to meet white women. And me and Marlon both agreed that would be a good place for him to do that. Me and Marlon are, and Jamal, we are Facebook friends, Instagram fans, and we are smiley face friends on Snapchat because we are very tight. I'm a pillar of the black Vermont community, if you guys didn't get that. That's what my deal is. If there was, we don't have leadership roles, but I would be at least a treasurer, just if you need to know like where I am in terms of frame of reference. Thank you guys, that's my time. I'm Terence. Give it for your host.